Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to AIRIS. Without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Whee!
Stop chasing me! Stop chasing me!
Teddy shrieks as she runs away from the mob of sheep that want nothing more than to cuddle her. And Lyle and I giggle as we chase after her, our previous worries temporarily shelved away. Initially, the atmosphere was a lot more tense, but a few weeks stuck in a desert with Teddy glued to your side is as uplifting as it is draining. Both Lyle and I have resumed smiling and playing around with these, and usually the feelings we express are even genuine.
And you two, stop laughing at my expense!
We're laughing with you, Teddy. Exactly. You know we love you.
This isn't love, you imbeciles! What are sheep doing in the desert anyway?
Oh, nice. We continue scampering away from the flock of sheep until the view before us finally changes to something other than the same old scenery of the same old desert. We huff as we skid to a stop. I thrust my fists up and away from me, whistling in glee at the sight. Meanwhile, I hear Teddy screech in horror as she finds herself drowning in an endless sea of white and black fluff. Aww.
Don't shoot just yet. We're bound to be disappointed.
Don't you dare get pessimistic on me. We've seen nothing but desert for the past 2 weeks, and all we've done is travel throughout the lands. We're finally seeing something different for a change. Even if this tunnel doesn't lead to the key, if our arrival here doesn't count as progress, I don't know what will. Frankly, we've been stuck here for so long that I refuse to believe we're in the wrong place. I chuckle. Can't disagree with that. As we continue to chat amongst ourselves, we hear something bounce and bounce, getting louder with each second. I squint to locate the source of the noise. Teddy crouches into a defensive position, tilting her head. What approaches, however, is neither a threat nor a toy. A jelly monster? Why does it bounce?
What else are jellies supposed to do? Hop?
The monster wiggles from left to right, almost like it's emulating a head tilt. The sheep ba in unison before storming back to the desert. The jelly bends forward as if to bow, then hops right back into the cavern. Blinking rapidly, I watch it disappear around the curve.
Well, that was certainly unprecedented. Mother of souls, I'm glad the sheep left at least.
Was it declaring that it was his territory or something?
I guess.
It didn't attack us. That's what matters, right? Yeah, it's for the proof we're looking in the right place, probably.
You know, this trip has been a depressing mix of tedium and anticlimactic... tedium and anticlimacticism.
Fucking Teddy using the big words. You're fucking bear! Is that even a word?
It is now! But really, though, all we do is walk and walk and walk, and when we finally come across a monster, it's either disgustingly sickly sweet or runs off to where it came from. Where's the action? Where's the adventure? The exhilaration of a good fight? Not only that, but the jelly just now is easily the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I think a talking bear is... I think a talking teddy bear is much weirder.
I'm a real bear! Growl!
Named Teddy and stuck in the middle of a pile of sheep. Very threatening.
Theodora is my name, and these sheep are my servants. Humans will never understand what it means to be regal.
Yes, your majesty. I shrug as Teddy feigns anger and grumbles, and I turn towards Lyle. Teddy's right, though. I was expecting something a lot more dangerous. Dangerous? No. Okay, given the king's ominous words about crossing the thresholds of death or whatever he said, I have to admit I was thinking the same thing.
Where are we going to get our lazy butts? My butt isn't lazy, of course. Just yours. Inside or not?
I snorted at words. Race you guys inside until the first crossroads? or block on the count of 3. Before I can start counting, however, Teddy has already started sprinting into the dungeon. Seeing her, Lyle gives me an apologetic smile before rushing in himself. I groan as I follow them, mumbling curses under my breath but laughing too. The jelly monster reappears with its telltale bounces and jumps around in front of us 5 times before hopping away. Is it telling us to follow it?
There's only one path. There's no point in having a guide.
So she says, but she's the first to start trailing behind the jelly. Maybe the path branches off in a little while.
I highly hope so, considering what a bore this adventure has been so far, but I somehow doubt it.
I give Teddy a soft nudge. Come on, Teddy. If we were actually in danger, you'd be complaining about that too. Only you'd be scared on top of that.
Scared beats bored. When we get home, the only thing I'll be able to tell people is, oh yeah, I totally saved the world by strolling around for weeks in a desert. Aren't I incredible? What a brag. I'm sure everyone will be impressed.
I mean, nobody says you have to be honest.
Tut-tut, Alia. Tut-tut, Alia. Are you really telling me to lie? Oh, how scandalous.
Shush up, Teddy. Woo! Bring out the shush up! Woo! God damn! As if you wouldn't have lied plenty regardless of my interjection.
You don't know that. I'm Theodora, the great talking bear, the most prized by the mother of souls, and lying is a word not in my dictionary. Ahem. Or it wasn't, until you forcibly amended it 2 weeks ago. 2 seconds ago. Why did I say 2 seconds ago?
God. I roll my eyes at her increasingly bizarre antics. Whatever you say. Anyway, is it just me or have your eyes been sparkling all this time?
Well, you think the jelly is edible?
What?
The only thing you guys packed were practical food like jerky and stale bread. I want dessert already, dang it!
Same, Teddy, same. Or Theodora. We packed at least half my backpack with chocolates. It's not my fault you ate them on the first day.
It is your fault. You packed too little.
I packed too much. If it weren't for Lyle's water magic, we've had to pack way more economically than we did, and you would have been grateful for a single cube of chocolate.
Ugh. I wouldn't have come with you guys in that case. Life without desserts is not a life suited to a bear.
Before I met you, I didn't even know bears could eat chocolates.
I'm glad to have educated you.
I snort and bop Teddy on the head lightly. In any case, I'd rather you did not attack the jelly. We know nothing about it. Who knows if it's poisonous or something?
Ugh. What if you act as my poison tester?
Say that again and I'm warping you back home alone. Teddy feigns a huff before changing the topic to one about how much she hates deserts.
Hey you, jelly monster! When are you going to stop? When does this tunnel end? We've been following you for practically years already.
It's at least the 11th time you've asked that, and the thing's never responded. Give up, Teddy.
Are you actually enjoying this wild goose chase?
Of course not, but we should conserve our energy considering we don't know how much more we'll have to follow the thing.
That last bit is exactly why I'm asking.
We walk some more, and the tunnel finally comes to an end. A wall of rock blocking any further movement forward. The jelly blobs glides to a stop and whirls around. Without warning, it explodes into smithereens with a resounding firecracker boom. The three of us duck, plugging our ears with our fingers.
Mother of souls!
A green illuminated insignia as wide as the wall is tall now adorns the floor. What? As wide as the wall is tall. Oh, okay. As wide as the wall is tall, now adorns the floor. the remnants of the jelly.
Good thing I didn't eat it after all.
Is that really the first thing you think?
Yes, got a problem with that?
Of course not. You're adorable, Teddy. Never change. No, what are we supposed to do with the portal? Stand on it? We do, and the design beneath us crackles, and the ground collapses from beneath us. Our bodies slam down onto the ground, and I squeak in pain. Lyle! My voice is a croak as I beg for heals. Minutes of unendurable pain trickle by before a warm glow surrounds me and begins to ease the ails. Slowly I regain control over the muscles in my body, and I lift myself up, torso first and head second. The first thing I see is a skeleton, yellowing and devoid of skin, piled up against the wall to roughly resemble the shape of a human, but not the actual structure. A green pile of clothes and cracked brooch have pooled next to it. I break into a scream. Aelia, it's okay.
Mother of souls, Aelia. We're in a contained space. Your scream almost popped my eardrum.
Lyle, Teddy, you're okay! I thought the skeleton was you. Upon a closer look, the skeleton looks nothing like Lyle. It's too tall to match them, and the bones look too broad. The clothes, too, are more lime than teal, and the cut and design of it are distinctly more masculine, even from the distance. In the dark and in my panic, however, I had failed to think things through. Thanks for worrying about me, but no, I'm alright. But this man, who is he? Do you think... I think he may be the man we were looking for forever ago. I don't see who else it could be. Clearly he was in the guild, considering the brooch is the one reserved for vassals. Among vassals, nobody else has gone missing, at least that we know of. Yeah, I can't believe it. You were right though, Aelia. He really did cross the portal. Do you think it was the fall that killed him? No, I think he was trapped here. He probably ran out of warps and couldn't head back home. Mother of souls. Lyle nods curtly, their gaze cast down. They close their eyes and pray briefly for the sake of the dead man. I do the same. When we're done here, I suppose we should take the bones and warp back. At least we have closure on that quest, I guess. My words come out insincere. Yeah. We look around for our surroundings, and our eyes land on the sword in the middle of the room. There. Do you think the sword could be the key?
What kind of lock would be unlocked by a sword of all things? Think before you speak, Lyle.
I'm sure you'd have suggested it yourself if I hadn't. Maybe it's some legendary sword that can slice even water into two halves.
Now you're the airhead. There's no such thing.
Well, we might as well try to pick it up. I step forward and reach out to clench the sword and wrench it out. As soon as my fingers touch it, however, burning pain ripples through them. I yelp out in pain. Aelia, are you alright? Perfect. It's kind of hot, though. I think I was just surprised. Frowning, I quickly grab the hilt of the sword with my palm, and I feel a hot jolt like knives slicing it repeatedly. Yet with yet another cry, I fall backwards. Lyle catches me from behind. Thanks. No problem. Are you alright, Aelia? What happened? I don't know. Lamely, I had 2 words. It hurt. I lift my hand up and glance down at my palm. It looks perfectly fine, and I no longer feel even a chance of the pain that shocked me mere moments ago. What do you mean? I don't know. I felt like my hand was burning and being sliced at when I touched the sword. Whatever it is, it's not a weapon we can use. I see. Should I try picking up the sword myself? I doubt I'll be any different. Maybe whatever happened to you will be even worse for me. Should I try to pick up the sword? No, we don't know the long-term consequences. Sure, since pain can be endured. Yeah! Yes, the fate of AIRIS may be at stake. Yes, the fate of AIRIS may be at stake. We have to say this. Wait. Yes. What if this is something important for getting to the portal? Or maybe it's the only thing that will help us defend against the aliens. We have no idea what it is, but it's possible that if we abandon this here, we're going to regret it. Might as well find a way to take it back to the king while we're here. Yes, you're right. We can't disappoint our ruler or our world. Yeah, Well, I'll try to catch you if you fall. Lyle nods, furrowing their brows. They step forward and reach for the sword themselves. They're just as quick to let out a cry and release it as I was. Mother of souls, what was that? I don't know. Gritting their teeth, Lyle reaches out and grabs the sword from its blade. Yet instantly they're slammed backwards. I managed to catch them from behind in the nick of time. Returning that favor? Huh, thanks. Do you think we have a single % chance of removing the sword from the bedrock and taking it with us? Doubt it. Lyle groans. I really don't want to return to haphazardly trudging around the desert for the next million years, hoping for enough luck to stumble across a clue at random. Me neither, but what else can we do? Should we try to cut out the rock itself from the ground and take the entire rock with us to the... Suddenly Teddy whoops and cheers. Frowning, I turn towards her. Turn around towards her. The sword glistens in her hand, reflecting off the sunlight from the crack in the sky. How in the world did you take that out, Teddy? Magic?
I can't use Alia. I can't use Alia. I can't use magic, Alia. You know that. I'm a bear.
But how?
What I'm wondering is, how did you and Lyle fail so badly to dig it out yourselves? My heart in a half. It wasn't even hard. I grabbed it and lifted it up. There wasn't even any resistance.
I don't understand. That's impossible.
Look at my paw and look at my sword. Possible or impossible?
I'm too flabbergasted to feel gratitude or relief. Well, Teddy, I'm glad you're here, I think.
You should always be glad I'm here. Now let's go home, shall we?
Yeah, okay. I glance towards Lyle, but they're wearing the same look of utter shock and disbelief that I am. Do bears have special powers or something? Are they the fated creatures of our generation? What? 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 The king turns towards us, interest clear in his features, and we immediately bow. Okay.
You have arrived, my servants of souls. You said you made a discovery. What is it? Have you guys located the key?
We are not sure what its purpose is, but we have discovered a sword. It was located in a rock. It's painful to the touch for Lyle and me, although Teddy seems to have no issue touching it. The king chuckles as soon as I speak up.
So the girl can speak.
Well, the last time I was silent because I didn't know how much I was allowed to pretend to hear without things being filtered. I apologize for my silence in our earlier meeting, Your Majesty. The king nods, then furrows his brows.
A sword, though. I wonder what its significance is. Bring it up.
Teddy obeys silently. I'm a bit thrown off by her uncharacteristically poised, quiet mannerisms, although it only makes sense considering where we are and who we're with. The king taps the hilt of the sword once, briefly as if nervous. However, he flinches back, not in pain but in annoyance, before grabbing the handle of the sword outright. I knit my brows. What's going on? Why can he touch it just fine? Hey! You're not cut! Why? Why is it always Kylan? Why is it always Kylan? Kylan isn't here! Oh my god. I am legit. Do the creators have a Twitter or something? I'm gonna tweet at them. I gotta tell them. Someone tell the creators, the devs, that they keep having fucking Kylan everywhere. They keep replacing King Leo's name with Kylan, and then also sometimes, like that one time, the narrator, Alias, as the narrator, her, I guess, I don't know what to call it because it is Alia speaking, but it isn't when she's speaking, it's when she's narrating. They also did that for Kylan. Fucking Kylan. They put Kylan there too. So, like, what the fuck? What the hell? What is this? It is merely your average sword. I'm saying it in Kylan's voice because it's Kylan, apparently.
Marissa, come and appraise the sword for enchantments.
I turn around to this woman he called Marissa and realize that she's the royal head mage. She nods and approaches the sword before raising her hand over it and making a circle in the air. She too frowns. There are no enchantments on the sword, my lord. At least none that I know to detect. If it is truly a relic we seek, it's possible that the mothers use magic that I do not know how to trace, but my humble opinion is that this sword is of no consequence.
Do you hear that, servants of souls? Is your goal to swindle me?
No, my lord. Of course not. I would never...
I do not have time to waste. You said the sword reacted to your touch, yes? One of you demonstrate for me.
I will, your majesty. Aelia, no, I will. It's fine. Treat me to drinks later if you want to make up for it. I refuse to see Lyle hurt further. The king nods and hands a servant next to him the sword. He slowly brings it to me, and I wrap my hand around it. The effect is instant. Pain shoots up my hand and radiates throughout my entire body. I manage to brace it for 1, 2, 3 seconds before I grunt and release. Then it's like nothing has happened at all. I look up at the king, hopeful. He has his head in his palm, his eyes narrowed, his jaw clenched.
What a wretched performance. I am tempted to clap for its mediocrity.
Servants and the head mage titter around us. But I...
Nothing flashed and nothing changed. All that happened is that you touched the sword before making a fool of yourself. Servant of souls, if you haven't found anything yet, that's all right, but you should not have wasted my time by bringing false relics.
My lord, if I were the only one involved, I'd gladly accept the shame and leave. But Lyle is here, and they are being pretty noticeably affected by the king's cold words. I can't bear to see them so miserable. We have not brought a false relic, your majesty. Maybe a weapons appraiser will be able to tell something.
A weapons appraiser,
Whatever happened to Lyle and me could be a result of the weapon itself, rather than any enchantments on it.
I see. Servant of souls, you'd better hope that whoever we find corroborates with your claims of the sword's importance. Marissa, grab the head healer. We shall head out now to the nearest weapons store.
My lord, you wish to head out yourself?
It's quicker than sending a messenger and waiting for a round trip. Prepare yourselves.
Yes, my lord. I draw myself closer to Lyle and feel myself shiver. Mother of souls, I can only hope that the weapon administrator will reveal something extraordinary. I do too. Oh, Miss and Company, you have returned. The shopkeeper nods at us, and I blush in embarrassment. No doubt he remembers me as the girl who randomly started panicking in the middle of the day as soon as the control left me to myself.
Hey, don't tell me you guys were hanging out with me again. Out without me again.
We weren't doing anything fun, don't worry. It was through coincidence that I met Lyle, and we only talked briefly. It's been a while. Indeed, what brings you here today? The shopkeeper smirks and crosses his arms. Or perhaps I should say, welcome to my humble abode! We have anything and everything you could dream of wanting. Would you like to make any purchases today? My head tilts back as I process his words. What? Are you right, miss? I thought you'd have been one of the first people to have figured everything out, considering what happened here before. I did, but why are you so open about... The door opens, and the king himself enters, fully clad. Oh, that's a dad. Fully clad in his regal robe and flanked by the royal healer and head mage. The shopkeeper sweaters and lowers himself into a bow. Your Majesty, why have you decided to come to such a humble store today?
I seek your assistance with identifying a sword. There's a chance it's a powerful relic, but according to our mage, it doesn't seem to have any enchantments on it. At least there aren't any we can identify. Perhaps it's the sword itself rather than the magic cast on it that's important.
The king gestures towards the head mage, who hands the shopkeeper the sword gingerly.
Can you identify it?
Oh, can you identify it? The shopkeeper taps the sword with his index finger, then lets his fingers glide down the top of the blade. He whistles. Oof, looks like it's 100 years old at the most. It's in pristine condition, and while it's worn, I can't been used. It can't have been used. It can't have been used in battle more than once or twice. Hardly a relic, but it may fetch a hefty sum with sword collectors. She's a beauty, all right. I'd buy it myself if I had the funds, but alas.
I see.
The king's words are curt and cold, and when he turns towards Lyle and me, I feel a shiver crawl down my spine from his glare.
You hear that? The sword is nothing of value. Servant of souls, I expected more from you. You have wasted an entire day for each and every one of us, when even an hour's more time than any of us have.
Lyle shrivels in shame at the king's chastisement. I apologize, my lord, but I truly thought... Your Highness, please listen to us. The sword is special, although I do not know how. You may not know me, but you know Lyle. They would not deign to waste... Deign? I have never heard that word before. To waste your time on frivolous endeavors, nor would they lie to you to further their own gains. The king leers at me as though I were a bug, then sneers.
I suppose you're right.
I glance at the shopkeeper. His entire body trembles, revealing how cowed he is by the presence of the king. That's only normal. I have to clench my own fists to keep them from shaking as much as they would.
You said the sword reacted when neither of you touched it, correct? And only then.
I nod, although it's clear his questions are meant more to mock than to confirm.
Pity neither of you are willing to touch the sword for long.
Your Highness, we can't...
Lyle can. I will make them. Again, it's a pity you're making me resort to this.
What do you mean? The king nods sharply, and Lyle collapses. When they get up again, their movements are jerky and erratic. Lyle, what's going on?
Lyle, what's going on?
The king is controlling me. While the speech comes from Lyle's lips and slips in their voice, the inflection of the words and their mannerisms are all wrong. The situation reminds me of when their player was controlling them, only their movements flowed more naturally then. Are the words the king's words then? Is the king making them speak for him, but how? The king chuckles.
Do you really think I'd have left the Earthling's methods of body manipulation alone? Though my methods are weaker since I lack this science magic, they are passable, especially from a distance this small. Conveniently, it also allows me to track the approximate locations of everyone. I've seized control of it as I will. As I will it. Well, perhaps that's more a result of my own devising and experimentation than convenience.
This not some protection spell, was what allowed the king to track us when Lyle and I crossed the portal to the desert. And that would mean the king has secretly seized control of Lyle's body for how long? I grit my teeth. Lyle is so loyal to the king, and yet...
I've been testing and owning it on servants like Lyle ever since, either by waiting until they're asleep or by erasing their memories of it afterwards.
Awkwardly, Lyle snatches the sword from the stunned shopkeeper's hand. They begin to scream and scream, but the king has not allowed them to open their mouth or unclench their teeth, so the sound comes out muffled and constrained. However, somehow that only makes them harder to listen to. No. Wait. No. Lyle, no! I try to reach out and smack the sword out of their hand, but the king makes them shove me away with their shoulders. Their eyes pool with tears, and I resist the urge to scream myself. If you hurt, I'll hurt with you, you moron! With those words, I forcibly restrain them by hugging them from the back and clench onto whatever's room remaining on the handle of the sword. Fire and knives consume me, eating away at my flesh and burning my bones and stabbing every inch of my skin over and over and over again. The pain increases with time, ripping into me more deeply, more swiftly, and I writhe under its pressure. An endless stretch of time seems to pass, and eventually my surroundings fade away. The last thing I hear is the king's trembling voice.
The key, of course, I should have known.
Duh, you fucking idiot. Of course it was the fucking key. Oh, come on. You're in the way. Someone squirms beside me, snapping me back to my senses. Lyle? Yeah, a while? Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of AIRIS. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you would like to see more, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!